But I'd love to maybe start to narrow us in a little bit of what are some of these small steps, right? Like, I do think they are skill sets. I do think they can be learned if you actually want to commit to them. They, yes, personality traits and maybe your passions and preferences play a role in what you'll gravitate to next. But I think they're muscles you can build. What, in your experience in doing these two things, are some of those tried and tested pieces that you would recommend others do if they want to start practicing in these areas?
Yeah. And it's interesting, right? Because some come really natural to me. So then it's hard to codify kind of what is it that I do there, and others not so much. And I have like tools that help me do it. First one that comes to mind is that system thinking, that kind of connecting the dots. And that happens to be like how I'm wired. But it is kind of connecting people, processes, priorities, and kind of all moving towards one destination or one goal. If it does not necessarily come naturally to you, it is a question that you can ask yourself every time, right? Like, how is this connected to other things? What other processes or other people are dependent on this thing?
Yeah.
Mind mapping could be a really great exercise to do there. Start with your thing and just start kind of creating those connections. It's how the human brain works. It's just visualizing that. And another tool that comes to mind is the Hoshin X matrix from Lean, where it is connecting long-term vision with shorter-term goals, with the people working on it, with the measurements of how you kind of define success. So that's another great tool that came to mind, where it is literally built to make connections and that systems thinking. We talked a lot about facilitation, obviously. So that's another, I think, skill set or smaller thing that you can start with. Most immediate, I think, is meetings, where you can look at what role do I take in this meeting? Can you take yourself out of the participant or kind of the educator or the leader role and put yourself in a facilitator role? And as you prepare for the meeting, think about what are things that I can do to increase participation in the group? Who are the people that I have in this team? And there are a lot of like facilitation techniques that you can find online. Liberating Structures, I think, is a great resource for that. Things like, I don't know, people that are a bit familiar with it, like the 1, 2, 4 all, or the what, so what, now what types of questions. So, I mean, go online and look for facilitation techniques and start trying that in meetings and see how that changes energy and participation.
Yes, I do think there are moments where that more structured facilitation, or what people think of when they hear facilitator or facilitation, does come in. But I think, to make it, yes, the moment of facilitating a meeting, but also take it back to facilitative leadership. A key thing that comes to mind for me is attunement, which to me is like, I hate the saying read the room, but maybe that will relate to people, but it's being observant. It's being very observant of what is going on, what is being said and what is not being said. Body language, it's where your own self-awareness and emotional intelligence and being able to understand where people are at, those come together. And like you said, embrace the silence. Like, some of the best folks that I've seen be facilitative leaders are often more quiet than not. And an acronym that a woman had told me once, and now I had a friend staying at my house. My office is in my guest room, and she's like, "What is this posted on your wall that says wait?" And I was like, "It means why am I talking?" That I have to remind myself all the time. So I think a key piece is if you're trying to practice and flex this muscle, you're going to have to hold back sometimes if you're someone that likes to be vocal and very participatory, like you said, and take back and listen is a big one. But then that last piece around empowerment and building ownership. So you also cannot be the center of the show. If you're embracing integration and facilitated leadership, you cannot be the center of the show. It is not about you. It is not about your ideas, right? It is about how can the group or the people co-author and create this ownership of the outcome together and move together through this. Because like that HBR article said, it was like the groups that could self-organize and self-commit and work together, they were the most successful ones. So yes, it's helpful to have sometimes a person kind of guiding it, but it can't be all about you.
No, that's fair. There's also this component of like holding judgment. And I think that's a small thing that people can do too. It is a mindset shift of like, instead of giving your opinion, can you ask a question and be truly inquisitive, right? So that's, I think, another small thing. So tools that we've referenced, I think entrepreneurial operating system is one kind of where the integrator and the skill of integration, I think, is nicely described and kind of offers you that cadence, structure, tools to work within, liberating structures for like micro tools, facilitative techniques, visual thinking strategies. One that I would love to explore more myself, but we'll share the link in our show notes. Design thinking, IDEO, I think does a lot of integration, facilitative leadership, has a lot of resources there too. And as Sidekick, I think this is what we live and breathe every day. So also on our own channels, we often share insights, tools, frameworks, learnings that might be interesting for folks.
Cool. Love it. Yeah, those are some great tools. And maybe when we publish the episode, we can put some links in with some of that stuff, both on our own channels and some places where we commonly go to learn and strengthen these for ourselves.